So what are you building here?
A great big
concrete
brutal concrete
bunker.
block.
Big concrete bunker
You got it.
here.
Yeah.
Why?
Building in concrete is a really simple way, he says naively, to build a house. You're pouring concrete, building walls. You're not messing around with bricks and mortars. You're not doing any of that. It's about a very honest building built out of a really, truly 21st century material with an incredible history, but we're using it in its most modern way that it can be utilised, and we're doing it on a budget.
It'll be made entirely out of concrete, and everything about this project screams experimentation. It's a single-storey dwelling, yet its foundations are on 7 different levels. To construct the walls and roof, enormous formwork panels will be built on site, into which liquid concrete will be poured. Not the conventional stuff, but cutting-edge structural and insulated mixes. Once it's all set, the panels will be removed to reveal the bare concrete structure beneath. And that's how it'll remain, because there'll be no plaster or paint. Several deeply recessed windows will allow some shafts of all-important natural light to enter the otherwise gloomy structure. On the inside, a hallway will lead to the main living block, which incorporates a kitchen and a sunken dining area. With, next to it, an even lower living room cum playroom, right next to the garage. Raised above the communal areas, there'll be bedrooms for each of the 3 children, a family bathroom, and a master bedroom block for Adrian and Megan. Even the new swimming pool in the garden will be cast from concrete. It's almost 2.5 years since I first met Adrian and Megan, who were preparing to build an experimental home entirely out of raw, exposed concrete, inspired by Adrian's childhood passion for skate parks in Scotland.
No windows, no door, no doorbell even. Looks like a fortress, doesn't it? Electricity substation. I'm going to go around the back. Oh my giddy aunt.
The back could not be more different.
It's pretty epic.
Megan's clearly worked wonders since I was last here. The building's come on leaps and bounds.
For people who like their brutalist concrete, this is on the brutal end of brutal. It's not the smoothest. It's not the most perfect.
I never wanted it to be like that. What I wanted it to look like was somebody to say, has that been there 50 years? Or is it new? It to look honest. Everything Mark is where we just try to create something. And it's ours. It's our rustic concrete box.
Ooh. This is extreme.
The interior is as gritty and grey as the facade.
There's a mass and solidity and thickness to everything, to the lintels, to the piers, the walls, the depth of that skylight. Everything is chunky and here forever. It's very, very nice. What I particularly like is the fact that you've got a chamfer at the top and the side, which means that sitting here, as I look up, I don't see an overhang. What I just see is sky through the top of the glazing, you know?
Yeah.
That is very, very neat. It gives you a huge view. It's a maximum contact with the world out there.
We are clean freaks.
Vaughan Barrycore, a fitness entrepreneur, and his wife Eleanor, who owns a gallery, live in a comfortable home in London with their 3 children. But the health of their sons is a constant concern. So, to support their children's health, Vaughan and Eleanor intend to build a hypoallergenic home. They've bought a plot of land in southwest London, in a leafy area full of parks and suburban semis.
Right. Oh, yeah, look, big trench, big hole in the ground.
Tucked away down a long drive, their quarter-acre plot cost £765,000. To deliver the space they want, Vaughan and Eleanor's healthy house will have hidden depths. They'll start by excavating 700 cubic metres to accommodate a large concrete basement. In the darkest corner, they'll put the plant room, family bathrooms and a cinema room. while in the lighter spaces, a master suite for Bourne and Eleanor and 3 bedrooms for the children will all look out onto a sunken garden. Above ground, they'll use big, pre-formed, ready-insulated timber panels or cassettes to make a single-storey building. The timber, insulation and cladding will all use low-toxin materials for a healthier home. The entire building will be skinned with an airtight membrane to satisfy Bourne and Eleanor's air quality requirements, then fitted with a mechanical ventilation system with extra filters. The spaces above ground will be light-filled and contain the main living areas, decorated with solvent-free paints and low-toxin flooring and furnishings to minimise the danger of allergic reaction. Outside, the building will be clad in larch and white render with a modest grey zinc roof. Bourne and Eleanor hope this place will be a haven for their children, but there are very few precedents for hypoallergenic buildings. No one knows if it'll work. So what began as a practical, healthy home experiment has, perhaps not by accident, delivered an imaginative piece of architecture as well, embellished with colour and delight. It's easy to see how a house like this might improve the emotional well-being of its occupants. But has it delivered the physical health benefits they wanted?
You said right at the beginning you wanted to make this place a safe haven for the kids.
Yeah.
Is it that?
I think we've definitely made it a safe haven for the kids.
We've been in the house for 6 months and the number of allergic reactions that the boys have had has been negligible. They've had 1 or 2 in 6 months in the property. That's unheard of.
As opposed to previously?
Oh, multiple. Every other week, minimum. For us, it's, well, it's the proof is there, isn't it? It works.
But the evidence isn't just anecdotal. The University of York has lent Bourne and Eleanor a curious-looking VOC monitor to assess their indoor air quality. And the results are in.
So the boys' room is dark blue.
Yep.
And then there's your lounge and the hallway in orange and grey. And the yellow is a typical new build. That's kind of shocking.
So we've been amazed by those results.
We've crushed it in terms of how our home performs against a new build. It's performing over 70% better.
It's truly remarkable.
Bourne and Eleanor's healthy home project may be delivering academic results. But what do their sternest critics make of it?
I like the house because I like the colours on it. I like my room the best. I feel very better in this house.
So this is the site.
Yes.
It's a good site.
You think?
Great location. So what's it you're going to build?
Well, what we're building is a family surf house with a practical end, somewhere with all the rooms in the right places and somewhere that we can bring up a family.
Yeah.
But then it also has this kind of sexy end, which is a floating steel-framed glass box. We have this visual in our mind, which is the house that was in Ferris Bueller's Day Off, in this house in Illinois. And
In the film?
in the film, yeah, we saw that film and thought, that's the house, that's the atmosphere we want to create.
What Harry's referring to is a striking steel-framed pavilion immortalised in the cult 80s film Ferris Bueller's Day Off. The pavilion, designed by David Haid, is part of a larger house, designed in the same powerful language by his mentor, James Speyer, in 1953. But Speyer's iconic example of American modernism was intended to sit in a forest in Illinois, not on an exposed valley near the Cornish coast. It's 15 months since Harry and Bryony set out to build a surf house near the North Cornish coast. Their inspiration? An American modernist home in Chicago, designed by James Speyer, whose architectural style was immortalised in the 80s film Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Oh, just look at that. Look at that, isn't it pretty? Not very much like the Speyer building there. Not now it's got that great big orange wall of cladding at the front. More of a long-distance homage.
What is undoubtedly Speyer-like, and all the better for it, is the chunky exposed steel frame of the living space, floating over the valley. And it's the real thing, not some other material like timber dummied up. But that's where the similarity with Speyer ends. The more pragmatic bedroom end is rooted firmly to the ground, and there's a lot less glass than Speyer used too. Inside, the house immediately delivers a theatrical punch with that 13-metre-long skylight that runs into the living space.
Oh yeah, this is nice. That great slot of light down the building leading you forward. That leads you into this space. Quite theatrical and also quite ecclesiastical, isn't it, you know? Wow. Very beautiful. These two walls, we talked a lot about these being kind of, as it were, replacements for glazing, but I have to say, you don't question that coming in, partly because of this slot which leads into that thin vertical pane, which is beautiful, and partly because, in fact, the cladding treatment is so nice on them.
But the largest, the tallest things here are the 4-metre tall windows. Their gift is a view of sky and landscape that is totally immersive.
That is my favourite view. View out into the forest. We're on a cantilever at this point.
Yes.
It just feels like you're flying, and you've just got this junction of the glass into the corner with no support for the lid above, which is glorious. Interesting, isn't it? Because of the height of the glass, you've got almost no interruption between you and it. It's quite a beautiful little Eden you have.